Hello and welcome to PocketGamer.biz's Monetizer feature. This is where we look at free-to-play games. We play the first 5 minutes or so and look at the monetization techniques and the user interface and kind of the user experience and that sort of thing. So the game we're looking at today is Dragon Realm from GREE. So let's start the stopwatch. Okay, so my bugbear is here. So this game would like to send me push notifications before I've even experienced the game. I think that's just completely rude. A game should just not do that at all. This is something that happens post-tutorial. There's no question. I mean, just don't do this. I think it's kind of. I think games in a year's time won't do this anyway. But anyway, so I am actually going to allow this. In most cases, I wouldn't allow this, but obviously, I want to see kind of what push notifications it's going to send me. But I think most game players would at this point go not allowed because they've not experienced the game. Now this is interesting. So the first splash screen I see is a complete tutorial and receive these rewards. Now I don't really know what these rewards are at the moment because I haven't played the game obviously. But you know, this is quite good retailing from GREE. $13 value of goods. So I mean, that kind of sounds like the kind of thing a game player would want to do. Get $13 free effectively, and obviously retention, particularly one-day retention, which effectively for most people is completing the tutorial, is something developers increasingly focus on, even more so I think than monetization. I think the feeling at the moment is if you can get players coming back day after day or at least week after week, monetization can be kind of sorted out later along the line. So anyway, we'll begin the tutorial and see if it works. Actually, sorry, there's no music. Let's try some music. Okay, it's always good to have a hero, so I can have a Knight Templar, Forest Sentinel, or a Harbinger. So looks like we've got a knight, a kind of elf thing, and a evil undead thing. So we've got a rock paper scissors type thing. This one gives 10% damage against that. That gives 10% damage against the feudal horde, whoever they are. Okay. Selecting here is not assigned to a faction. Okay, let's go for the evil one, the evil looking one. So all about dragons by the look of it. Tap on a dragon to defeat it. That's how you tap on dragons, apparently. That's how you defeat dragons, you tap on them. Okay, so this is my dragon. I'm going to get some rewards. It requires 5, so obviously we've got a fuel system here. Let's get on with it. 5 energy. Oh, I've killed him. There we go. That's easy. You will need powerful heroes to be the champion. Tap on the loot. Okay. So I've received a grave right. Okay, so we're getting an idea. I'm going to be collecting kind of different units. I'm going to be leveling them up. He's going to be evolving them as well. So that's all pretty standard. Okay, let's see on our quest ledger to see my quests. Defeat the Demon King. It's always a good start, isn't it? And obviously I'm not in a guild at the moment, but guilds are an important part of retention. Okay, that's it. Okay, let's go and often do that. Tap the Demon King to defeat him. Tap again. Oh, so the first tap shows me what I'm going to get for doing it, how much it's going to cost me energy-wise. Great work. Level 2. Unlock the woods. Received summons. The Demon King left behind a magical summons. Okay, that's what we just picked up. So the summons is, I assume, going to let me summon another hero. Okay. There we go. Oh, there we go. So I've got a Warrior of the Damned. I've got 2 new heroes to add into my party. Select in party. Okay. You aren't the only one in this realm. Attack your enemies and show your strength. Attack the battle list. So I'm going to attack this rival. I wonder, might be a real player, more likely to be an AI character, I guess. So yeah. So there we go. Can skip this. Not the most interactive of battles. Oh, I can skip it. Did I win? I won. There we go. It's good stuff. What I won. Tap on my realm. Back to my realm. Okay, so we've got some city building. Going to build the Magic Academy. Probably going to speed it up, are we? Finished now, so I'm going to use what looks like a hard currency. What's my name? Champion. Well, they don't give me one name for champion. Okay, so I've learnt the tutorial. I've done the tutorial, I guess. Do I get my reward? There we go. Well, that wasn't so bad, was it? So I've got 2 summons. I've got some gold, some stamina, and some energy. Some more quests. Okay, so this is something I'm kind of seeing a lot of now in the early stages of games. Seeing a kind of time-dependent, limited time offer. I don't know what that's going to do. Oh, so if I've got 8. So if I've got a referral code off someone, I can enter it there for a hero summons. Okay, so these are my next quests, level 3. Construct a cottage. Right, okay. Let's just turn that down a tad. So we can kind of see what kind of game we're getting here. So we're getting the kind of city building element that we all know and love from Backyard Monsters, Clash of Clans, all that kind of stuff. Pinch it out, yeah. So that's going to provide some kind of resource type situation. Then we've got the battle thing, which also we can see looks more, is more like a card battler type thing. Kind of interesting actually. I've been playing, certainly from the battling side, I've been playing Kabam's Heroes of Camelot, which has a very similar kind of collecting cards, evolving them up, enhancing them, kind of building effectively decks, and then when you have a battle, it's just a battle. It's just, you're not doing anything in the battle, it's just the attributes, and you win or lose. Kind of seeing a lot of those. Obviously card battling games have been pretty popular, and we're seeing different ways, I think, of kind of giving them a more Western user experience. I think today a lot of those games have been so Japanese in particular, but Asian in kind of gameplay characteristics. Obviously that's where they originated from and where they've been most successful. So obviously GREE, being a Japanese company, knows all about this kind of stuff. So the other thing we like to look at in Monetizer is effectively to look at the kind of how games are looking to monetize. So we've kind of had an idea through the tutorial that. Oh, excuse me. Very important man. Phone's all ringing. So we've obviously got this energy here. Energy is full. I'm not sure what that is. Okay, it's my stamina. That's my level, I guess. Yeah. And then we've got gold. So presumably, let's have a quick. If I build something, I've got. No, it wasn't a building here. I can build a cottage. I can build a cottage. Put that there. So that's just using up my gold. It's going to give me gold as well. And then this is the gems. Is the hard currency here. So again, I mean, I'm coming to the conclusion that actually, while the majority of players probably don't pay kind of early in their game experience, I think it's a good thing for developers to have a kind of an option an option for people who do kind of want to, because often I find the first bit of a game, particularly any game with city building, is pretty dull. You've got nothing there and you're just waiting, and it's a bit tedious. So I'm kind of coming to the conclusion that all games should have a pretty, kind of a low price. So this is £3, which is $6. So it's not that cheap, but if you have a really good kind of initial retail item package, often bundle of different things, I think this is kind of something that even if people don't use it, it's kind of it's limited. So you have a time limitation that's kind of counting down. So it's always good to get people, sale ends today, kind of series of things. Another thing I also think that if you actually, I think it's an opportunity for you to kind of give people who do spend money early a bit of a kind of an advantage almost. So you can kind of really load up that initial pack, because once you've got the whole thing is once you've got people buying in your game, they're more likely to spend again. So that's kind of interesting. Anyway, I'm waffling a bit. So we can see here we've got, so actually gold and gems are both hard currency, and the value of them is exactly the same. So we've got the typical, a bit higher than normal. So starting price there is, did we say that was sorry, no. So $2.99 is $5. So the cheapest option we can buy is $2. Then we've got so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've got five transaction bands. The most expensive one is $99.99 or £69.69p. Again, this is something I kind of like to look at what I call the discount currency ratio, which is basically how much extra I get for buying not the cheapest one. So this is telling me here, if I buy these gems, obviously you can see I'm getting a 500 for $5 here, but for $9 I'm getting 1,100. So I'm effectively getting 100 extra. So this is 10% extra. So that's not too bad. So you get 50%. I mean, often those kind of, for most games it's under 2. So you for most games you get about 50%, 60, 70% extra. For a few games, I mean, some of the EA games you get 200% extra. So that's quite different. But I think it's kind of an interesting thing to have there. I wonder whether it's interesting that just in terms of the UI here, to put these things together. I think there's a better way of doing it. I mean, you see most games you'll see it would have it as gems, and then you slide across to get gold. And I think it's also quite interesting, kind of like retail psychology, that you have gems and gold exactly the same price. Often you'll see, even if you have 2 hard currencies, you'll have one hard currency will be unit-wise much what's the word? Much kind of more expensive. So say gems, so you might get 500 gems for $5, but you might get 50,000 gold, just to kind of show how those currencies are being used. One's kind of softer or harder than the other one. But anyway, I mean, GREE know what they're doing, aren't they? A big company. So so that's what they've got there. So if we go. Sorry about that. Camera just went crazy. So what we're seeing here is for buildings. Buildings are all about using up your gold. So boosts and props again. So this is all using gold. Things you're using in the battle part of the game this is using gems currency and speeding up buildings. Typically, as we see in city building games, it's all about gems as well. And summons. So we get 1 free summons a day. That's going to get me another character I can add to my kind of band, or add to my group, or use within my group to enhance another card. Or we can start buying these kind of packs, so we get different kind of rare cards. And also we've got this one. So this is H. Is Honor. Okay. So this is another in-game currency, but not one that can be bought. So this is kind of a obviously for any game involving some sort of PvP, player versus player, multiplayer mechanics. Obviously, it's good to most players are quite competitive in these games anyway, and they want to go out and show their status by beating other players. But also, it's kind of good. It's encouragement, I guess, to build a economic system into this as well. So obviously, to get the battle summons, I'm going to need to win 50, wasn't it? Okay, so maybe I'll win more depending on who I fight. Well, I guess it's always interesting to have things that can't be. I mean, I think it's always an interesting discussion now for game developers, where, because maybe I do want to buy some of these, maybe I want to buy some honours, and if I'm time poor and money rich, I don't really want to try and play through to get them, and so having a direct way. You're losing kind of a direct monetization by not being able to spend real money buying the H's, the honours. But those kind of things can get tweaked. Anyway, so that's kind of a. So that's about it then. So interesting. Obviously, I guess the other thing to say about GREE is obviously very big in Japan. It's kind of struggled a little bit to launch a new game since it bought Funzio, the US company. Funzio's games that have been successful are still going very strongly. But GREE up to this point hasn't kind of launched anything new, yeah, we'll kind of see how this one goes on. I would say the one thing I would say is kind of graphically, it's not really that strong, is it? I wonder if these kind of games, whether historically card-based games have obviously been running on HTML5 and tended not to have the same level of just kind of like graphical polish and presentation polish as native games. And the Japanese market was for a long time based around HTML5. So I don't quite know if this one is running in HTML5. Probably a combination of two, really. Anyway, okay. Right, that's enough of that. We shall be writing it up in our Monetizer column and seeing how it does in the charts, and maybe we'll write a charticle about it.